We pilots often claim that the drive to the airport is the most dangerous part of any flight. And if you're boarding a commercial airliner, this is true. In fact, you're more likely to be struck by lightning than to be in an airline accident. But is it true for private planes? These flights, that are also known as general aviation or GA, have accident rates at the lowest they've ever been, but they still have a way to go to match the safety records of the airlines. So is general aviation safer than driving? To answer that question, we compared driving and flying accident data. This was not a simple task, but the effort was worth it. Our research taught us a lot about how we, as pilots, can make general aviation safer. Hi, I'm Greg from Pilot Institute, the online ground school that makes aviation easy. There's no way to sugarcoat this. Across the board, general aviation fatality rate is several times higher than driving. But there is more to this data than meets the eye. The research shows there were 0.68 car crashes per million hours driven. Now, the rate varies between 1.05 for young drivers all the way to 0.45 for older drivers. Now, for GA overall, there were 9.5 fatal accidents per million flight hours. That's right, that's about 14 times the driving fatality rate. Now, the scope of general aviation is, well, vast, and not all types of flying are equally risky. Personal flight accounts for 67% of GA accidents and 72% of GA fatalities. Now, this segment sees 18.6 fatal accidents per million flight hours. Now, fatalities are down 24% from 2012, but it is still 27 times the driving fatality rate. That's even more dangerous than riding a motorcycle. But what about instructional flights? Well, they saw a 2.3 fatal accident per million flight hours, down 52% since 2012. That means flight training is only 3.4 times more dangerous than driving. But the greatest cause of accident remains the same: the pilot. That's a tough pill to swallow, but it also is somewhat good news, and here's why. In 2021, around 14% of all accidents and 28% of fatal crashes did not have a clear cause. Now, this is frustrating because without knowing them, well, we don't have a way to learn. Mechanical failures make up about 16% of all accidents, but only 7% of fatal accidents. Engine failures are the top cause, but there is also a surprising fact. Out of 57 engine failures reported in 2021, only 6 of them were fatal. So despite the fear factor, they are generally manageable emergencies. AOPA found that 30% of engine failures don't have a clear cause. Now, maintenance issues are behind 16%, and structural failures are 17%. Common preventable causes like carb ice or fuel issues account for the rest. This means that pilots or mechanics contribute to about half of all engine failures. That's within our control. Which brings us to the leading cause of GA accidents at 69%, the pilot. The most common and deadliest issue here is loss of control in flight. Half of the maneuvering accidents are stalls or spin in the traffic pattern. These are seldom recoverable. Here's another top cause: control flight into terrain, or CFIT, which is an unintended collision with the ground or an obstacle. Another avoidable cause of fatal accidents is unintended flight into IMC. Now, these accidents are caused by unplanned flights into clouds or low visibility, and these have a 71% fatality rate in 2021. 71%. Now, this is why we're such big proponents of pilots getting their IFR rating. Now, are you starting to see a pattern here? Pilots are the primary cause of general aviation accidents. Now, this means that we, as pilots, can significantly improve the safety of our flights through training and practice. The key is not just doing the bare minimum required by the law, but going above and beyond. Now, stay disciplined and make wise decisions, even when no one is watching. And if you want more information about how we came up with all of this data, make sure to check out the link in the description. We've also created detailed accident case studies, so make sure you watch this video right here for a clear illustration of how fast things can go wrong. Thanks for watching, and fly safe.